And 3, 2, 1, go live. What's up, everybody? It's episode 31. Let's talk Landmark.
What are you doing?
The heck? He's having flashback, guys. It's okay. You know, the Vietnam War did not treat him well.
My picture's messed up.
You what? Oh yeah. Oops.
Yeah.
There we go.
You gotta close your messages.
Well, like I said, when I open that little thingy, it makes it hard to talk to y'all.
So have you changed your delay from 30 to 12?
I don't know.
No, he has not.
I haven't touched anything.
I need to do that too.
All right.
All right.
So,
good morning.
It's a little late morning for you there, bud. We got quite a few things to kind of go over for you guys today. He's gonna have to wait. God, the smallest little things just like throw me off track. It's amazing how easy that happens.
Oh, will you stop? I need my window open or I'm going to die of.
Hey, Gio, for the rest of the night, every time we hear one, we just go.
I don't hear it until you guys do that. I'm so used to it.
All right. This first link I'm going to give you guys. And let me throw this out in chat for everybody. Boom. Just like that. Now, don't let the link scare you. Okay? Because it's not the actual elf workshop competition yet. Okay? It hasn't started. Calm down. It's okay. But there was a post that was made by Augur Dev. It's about 1/3 page down the screen, and it's like long as poop. It's like 3 sections of Augur Dev in there, and you can feel free to read over it all you want. But he kind of goes into answering some questions that some people, kind of threw out. But it was the 3rd post that is the big one. Now, it was Katina that brought this one to me. So, Tag, you're it.
I can't duck that one, huh? All right. You're making incredible things. We know this style has been tough to build, but we've been incredibly impressed with the amazing things you've accomplished so far. Well, we're super excited for the progress made and can't wait to start playing around with these once they're ready. I wanted to make a specific request before we get into the actual competition. I mentioned this once on the workshop show before, but one thing that we absolutely want to get out of this competition is a full set of modular pieces that we can use to build the sewer catacomb beneath Kinos. When the Combine returned to Antonica, they built Kinos on top of a ruined Takish fortress. The underground portions of the fortress, including the sewers, were largely left intact. The ruins underneath Kinos will likely be a dangerous area, and we love the ability to build them with modular tiles that can be pieced together in many different arrangements. The sewers will be the primary paths underground, but they will connect. Oh, God, Thomas, rub it off me, I can't read. But they will connect to many non-sewer areas that were built underground, such as torture dungeons, secret libraries, crypts, etc.
Who?
Comments? Nothing? Keep reading.
I'm thinking Angel Bay.
Well,
Torture dungeons.
Gio, you're going to be on the next one because I'm trying to pull up a link to something that actually corresponds with all this right here.
Oh,
I'm trying to find it. So, I'll let you carry on there. I've got to find it.
I'm still looking for where Kat was reading.
Did you get the right link? Page 4?
Yeah, I'm
about 1/3 of the way down.
Page 4, 1/3 of the way down.
Starts with,
So to that end, I'd love it if that's it. Yeah. So to that end, if a small group of builders would team up to make these for the competition. Ideally, you'd work together so that all the modular pieces may be by different builders and can fit together. Here are some guidelines to help lead the design, and please ask questions if we can provide any more advice to help. So the first bullet point there is we're working on concept art piece for this, and we'll share it in the workshop show ASAP. Next, we're working on the list of standardized sizes and dimensions for use. These tiles, we'd like to turn around a few of the options built to see how they feel before solidifying a final list. Well, that makes sense. That's reasonable. And it's a very rough guideline. Don't make the sewer tunnels smaller than 50 by 50 voxels. The tiles should be modular. This means that the tiles can connect to each other in any configuration without looking weird. Okay. Subjective. So we can build multiple floor plans. Love it. This is great. This is cool. I'm glad they're doing this. Similar to what we did with the Aqueducts docks for the Kinos competition. Yeah, that's exactly actually what I was thinking of. This does not mean that every tile needs to be the same size, just that the connecting section of the tiles, pathways, doors, etc., need to be the same size. This example shows how the rooms are of different shapes, but all have the same one square connection shape. They should look abandoned, decayed in some places, and ominous, not bright, cheerful, and happy, like the background in Tinma's video window. Right, should have pirate flags, eh? Swords and stuff.
One day I'll get one. Put a pirate flag up there, you know.
I'm going to send you mine and get a different one. They should. Oh wait. They should not be any Kinos construction down here. Okay. It should be Takish architecture. Room sizes for the non-sewer portion should vary from large rooms so that we can house multiple packs and a boss. Yes. To claustrophobic tunnels and side rooms. I love it. I can't wait for EverQuest next. Holy crap. All right. So please use the stone as a major element here. Please use stone as a major element here, and have marbles, gold, and more as trims and accenting elements. Sweet. Augur Dev, thank you, man. This is good stuff.
I'm fixing to put a twist in it.
Oh, yeah. Not a happy one.
Not a happy one. Not a happy one indeed. Now, it was about the time that this was posted. The last edited and posted on dates are kind of awkward. So it's kind of hard to say exactly when this was kind of done. But I'm a Twitter hound too. And a lot of stuff was going over on Twitter at the same time as what this was going on. And I'll post this link. And y'all have at it. This was pretty much a conversation in between Fugazi and Josh Augustine, and Alan Lapidus joined in, and it kind of carried on for quite some time about pretty much nothing but a sewer system that was already made.
Yep. And Car actually said it quite nicely in chat here.
So, I think it's just kind of awkward that they asked for some, but some have already been made. And they helped them get the sizing right for it.
As Car said, to do that, we're going to fine-tune the dimension shapes we want with Fugazi's build. The ones who have the exact shapes we want, Fugazi agreed to let us share those tiles with everyone so that we can all use them as the guideline for what shapes dimensions to use for our pieces.
Now, I don't have a problem with that, but please just freaking hire the guy. So he's doing this from the Daybreak side of things. Same with Chinsun.
Honestly, I'm not a huge one to sit there and begrudge anyone a competition, but if he's designing the style that's being adopted from scratch, he should not be able to win.
Yeah, but hire this guy.
Hire
Hire him.
to the rest of his tribe.
I mean, like I said, I thought this was, you know,
a job.
I understand. We're here to help guide the style, and I understand that. But there's a part of me there that is like, you know, if you're only taking input from certain places, then how is it that all the players are having any effect on it
Yep.
as a whole? That's what burns in my head about that kind of stuff, and it kind of followed back to all the imagery that's been painted by certain individuals. And if you notice, I'm doing my best to defer from saying names or anything like that, but there's all this imagery, and it's being used as the guide. And it has nothing to do with their ability. They're freaking awesome artists. It's like straight up.
Which is why I say if the designs, you know, if they're basically developing the guides, and what these guys do, it's just simply amazing. Hire them, bring them
exactly.
bring them in house so that they're not part of the competition. They're actually building the game from the inside, and they're leading the rest of us instead of doing it as players.
As secondary it's a mediary.
They're amazing. They're amazing.
You're
absolutely amazing.
It's like Daybreak is using them as a mediary instead of actually coming straight to us and say, "Hey, this is what we want." That's the way it's appearing to me, and it's to me it's bad mojo.
Well, and you know what? I'm sure to everybody who is really, to the accomplished builders that are in this contest, I'm sure it's awkward. It's awkward.
I mean, I consider myself an accomplished builder.
Oh, you are.
I mean, I've got
and there's a lot, and it's not just you. I mean, there's a whole bunch of guys. There's a bunch. There's a lot of really accomplished builders.
But at the same time, I mean, not to that kind of extent. I always tried to make it as players were always first anyway. You know, everybody else was first before myself. You know, if I come up with something new or if I figured something out and how to do something, I'd push it out to everybody. So so in that regards, that's, you know, the way I look at it different than others do. But to have a single or just a small amount of people being the focal point, and maybe I'm just not coming across correctly here, and I don't want to like skew anything or people think I'm like totally negative against certain individuals or anything like that. That is not the case. You know, the competitions were something that basically this is what we want. We try to build it. If we can't, the actual guide gets changed by the developers.
Yeah.
It gets pushed back out. We try to build that. If that doesn't work, it comes back in. And that is through the workshop process. When the competition rolls around, we have a set guide. We have a set standard. And it was all done by the developers.
Yeah. Because it's a competition, the players should all be on an even footing. And by these guys developing the style guide, it's not on an even footing. Now, I'm just saying, what they do is amazing. Fugazi,
yes, it is.
Fugazi, Jinsan, and there's more. I mean,
there's a bunch of them.
Yeah, there's a whole bunch of these guys, and they're brilliant. But I'm saying, find a way to hire these guys. There's a number of ways you can do it. Just do it. Bring them in house.
They're amazing. They would do remarkable things for the style guides.
And I don't think they'd complain.
If you give them free reign.
And Jinsan would have a hell of a commute.
Yeah.
But look, there's no reason he can't work remotely. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Come on, it's the 21st freaking century.
But the whole entire point of what I'm saying here is that, okay, if you look at the actual style guide, the only things that were actually done by the developers, the last I looked, was some imagery of the characters, which are non-relevant to the competition, other than the little history thing on the side, and that's it. So the actual characters, throw it out the window. And the only image they gave us was that one scene where all the towers, and then you had two buildings. Everything else in that style guide was not done by them.
It's true. It was all player.
And I said it on the last competition. We want more concept art from them. And I think it's just bad mojo because of that. I mean, you're basically making it where, you know, you've already stamped in stone. Those are winners off the bat. Go ahead and take 2 trophies and throw them off to the side because you ain't getting them. That's exactly how that is set up right now.
I think a lot of it's not saying
Flat.
You know, against any of these builders. It's more like, how are the devs responding to the rest of us and what we have to say?
Well, okay, now
To me,
okay, a couple of these guys do make a concerted effort at the very beginning or before the next cycle starts of competition builds to draft up their vision of artwork. I mean, these are unbelievable sketches. These guys have real talent. They're real artists. They're real artists. I mean, this is what they do professionally, or at least what they've been trained for. And they're pushing that stuff out. They're being very proactive, and they are single-handedly, by doing that, are guiding the direction that things go. And look, they're so good. They really do need to be hired. Bring them on as a contractor. Find someone to do it. But that would, I think, make things flow the way they should. But
well, I mean, I've known Fugazi since Alpha. You know, we worked on the Mega Claim together, but we've known each other for quite some time. He's a great builder. I mean, he's phenomenal. I learned so much from him that it's like, I was like, wow, you can do that, you know, and it's like constant. And I mean, I have absolutely nothing against either one of them because they are accomplished. I mean, I'm gonna be honest. There's parts of the stuff that they do. It's a heck of a lot better than what I can do, and I know it. You know, they've got they know how to do certain things that I'm pretty sure I don't know how to do. So they've got some tool sets that are different than mine. But the way I'm kind of looking at it is, you know, if this is, you know, it's a competition. I understand that. Yes, there's going to be winners, there's going to be losers, and that's just how it is. That's how competitions are. But in the way that it's being actually set up right now, it's like taking 2 trophies off the shelf automatically before the competition even starts and says you will not have those 2.
it's okay. So what I do is I show off the things that people create, and it's really difficult for me to not spend a crazy amount of time at their builds. It's amazing. God, you want to talk about entertaining people? Me going there to go look at what they've made and just showing it and talking about it and having everyone come join us. You know, what it does is it takes away from the literally hundreds and hundreds of other builders out there that are trying, they're working hard, and I want to give these other folks, you know, a chance to get their stuff shown off on the show. So that's why I don't spend a crazy amount of time at any of their builds. But dude, Fugazi, Jinsan, Anzu, you guys absolutely blow us away. It's just amazing. And Jadam. So, and there's more. There's others, but we're talking about them specifically because they've got some mad skills and they're really helping guide the direction of the game. And they should be in house. Yep. My rant's over.
Okay, so, well, like I said, it was an awesome post, but I had to throw it in there. But just to flip the coin there. Now, let's go ahead to the next one. Next forum post that was made by, let's see, what was this one done? Was this one done? Which one is this?
Is this the UI post you're talking about?
Yes, this goes to the UI post, and I will post this link here.
Go to page 1, your initial post.
That is go to the initial post. This is where it kind of all starts. I'll kind of go over.
Can you pull it up on the screen?
Sure.
I mean,
you're throwing them for a loop.
Well, I got to move windows around and stuff like that. So
you got better skills than I finally got it down to a system. Whatever I want to go up the screen, I've got a hotkey on OBS. I hit that, and it shows whatever's on my other monitor.
Do you want the image up on the screen, or do you want the forum
image.
post?
No, just the picture.
Okay. Well, you're going to have to read off
I will, man.
what needs to be read, because
I can read.
it eats up my browser. So
Like a bad mamma jamma. I can read this. All right.
All right.
It's fine.
I got to remember which one it was here, but give me a moment.
You should hear me read Shakespeare to my kids. Shakespeare and Mark Twain,
Oh God.
Jules Verne.
I can just see you doing Macbeth right now. For some reason, or Henry VIII. Henry VIII, I am.
We're building. We're turning the back of our house into an amphitheater.
Oh God.
Yeah. Well, it's a natural amphitheater, so I figured, instead of dumping these rocks off in the woods, we're gonna make seats out of them.
Okay, go for it.
You ready? You
Yep.
got it?
Yep.
All right, man. So Tim did this post, suggestions for the UI enhancements, and this graphic is rich with stuff. Man, we've been moaning and groaning about the UI forever. So with the changes proposed above, much less field space would be consumed, easier access to items we want to use. Number one, the chat box can be hidden, collapsed to an icon to the side of the window. Oh, please. Oh my gosh, please. If you guys watch my show, I'm always dragging the chat window off to the side to get it off the freaking screen so you can't see all the silly messages that Spider Oz is sending me in the morning when I first log in. And then, but still notify you when you've received a message. So the thing just flashes. The icon just flashes. It's so easy. This is cool stuff. Number two, whisper/tell messages would not get lost in the scroll of the chat tab, so others do not think that you're ignoring them. Yeah. I have never ignored anybody. I'm just saying it now. I want to get that out there. I've never ignored anybody, especially on live television. Yeah, I would benefit more than anyone else from that little feature. One more hot bar. Oh, please. Yeah, one more hot bar. This will give us enough slots to have 1 to 3 weapons, all the sounders, gathering tools, a recall stone, bobble, building tools, and 1 extra. These are all the primary things we use. Amen, brother. Wow. Number 5, currently the friends list does not open automatically when you have to press K to get it up and then close it to make the icon and the go into the upper corner. Yeah, that is crazy. But that should be an easy program fix. Really easy program fix. And number 6, a modal compass. This would allow the user to move it to where it is easier for them to see it. Oh, please.
And
when it moved up.
If you ever notice, the compass is actually in the upper right on the screen, but when you bring up the map, it's in the lower right.
Yeah, it used to be on the screen, on our screens, it used to be in the lower right.
Used to be.
It used to be, yeah. It would also be nice to be able to move the upper right notifications where us, the players, would like them to be, so we don't have to miss the important info, mail, friend request, etc. Number 7, make the props and materials interface itself more transparent, not the items in it. And transparency can be controlled by the player in the settings menu. Brilliant, brilliant. Again, I think this is an easy thing to do.
I couldn't tell you how many times I've had up those windows, and Corrine tells me, shut that window, shut that window, shut that window.
I was so glad that was her today, not me.
So, you guys. Oh, yeah, good. Yeah. Thank you.
So, but that's the one thing about the user interface is, you want to be able to see whatever it is that is in front of you. And
it's confirmed this morning. Corrine might possibly be another Time Lord. I know for a fact that her brain is powered by 2 cold fusion reactors. She pulled me down into a private channel and schooled me. She said, all right, you've been doing this long enough. I cannot say something. I cannot go without saying something to you. And so she said, you need to do this, this, and this, and this, and this. Wow. Man, that's so cool. Thank you.
I tell you, like I said, I've told you, Gio, the girls keep me straight. Like, straight on an arrow. Okay, if I go out, they are beating me up.
Look, I've been streaming, I don't know, it was 8 months now, 9 months. I lost count. I mean, it's not a long time, but she said, you need to be doing these things. You need to fix all this stuff. So you're not having to open your inventory and do. I'm like, oh my God, you're absolutely right. I never thought about it.
Wow.
So, thank you. Anyway, so enough of my tirade. Korean rocks. And this morning, how about my Lisdexia? It's a disease terrible. I said, Karina and Katane. But they rolled with it. They were good sports. All right, so number 8. Show borders checkbox when you go to other players' claims, much like the one we have for our own. Yes, wouldn't that be so handy? Yeah, I'm visiting Tenma's. We're working on something together. Example, Knobwinkle was there today, and you guys are working on something together, and just be able to turn on the borders for the claim that you're on. And then the claim pull-down window, just click right there, a little border button for the claim you're sitting on. Would be really cool. And you know what, guys? If Tim, when you do these things, if you can make all the mock-ups of the windows ahead of time,
I can do that.
Dude,
it's not hard. It's really not.
Look, this is akin. This would be akin to Jinsan and Fugazi and Anzul and Jadam and all those guys. Making this beautiful artwork that they push out before we really get into the next competition. This would be the same thing. This would be the equivalent to that.
Do you remember, God, what was the name of that? It was, I used to make skins for programs back in the old days when a lot of programs allowed us to do that. And one of the programs I used to make skins for was a program called Virtual Places. I used to make full-blown user interfaces for that. Let's see, Winamp. I used to make skins for Winamp. I used to make skins for the old Microsoft Media Player. I used to do all those little things I used to do, and I just kind of got out of it after a bit of time. But yeah, I mean,
dude,
doing
do the
it
mock-ups.
shouldn't be an issue.
Do the mock-ups. You want to get your idea pushed through quickly. Just do all the legwork for them. Give them something that is logical, very clean, reproducible, and then a design document to go with it. So give the steps of how each thing functions, all the ways it's accessed, where it should be able to be moved around, and then get that to Terry, because Terry can look at that and he can instantly make a yes/no decision. And if the decision's yes, he can just hand that to the guy who's going to do it.
Now, I'll kind of break this down. This one little image right here, this materials window. This corner right here is basically one image. This striping from here to about here is all one image. And then you have another image that is this one, which is the one that repeats, and basically it overlaps by this one here that has the color differential. Here on this end, we have the buttons, and they are probably individual images themselves. And then you have this corner right here. And then, of course, from here to here, you have one image. You have an image for this here, an image for this corner, an image for this corner. And then you have probably repeating this way, and then probably something along this lines here, something that repeats in this section and here. And then you have the individual buttons that are placed in it. And then, of course, the bottom corners like this and like this. So, I mean, it's not very difficult. It's just a matter of pulling it all apart.
I'd love to see you collaborate with, at a minimum, Aliana, because he's good as well at doing UI mock-ups, and he's got some great ideas. Start consolidating these ideas together. But seriously, do the mock-ups, design document, get it to Terry. And just put it on the forums, but send it directly to Terry as well. And man, you'll see that makes it easy for them to add these things to the game.
The important thing is what we got as feedback, which is a little bit further down on that page.
Yeah. Well, so I didn't get to number 9. This one's really good. This one is my favorite of all of these. It is a favorites palette where the player can drag and drop the materials they use a lot too. This could also be a place where you could drag and drop certain props that you use a lot as well. That way you don't have to constantly open and close the props and materials windows to dig for the materials you use so often. This, that would be a godsend. Man, we need that one. Number 1. That's my number 1 thing. Get that.
Yep. But I'm gonna bring
Good
this.
post, man.
Yeah, I'm gonna bring this off. Get our faces back up so people didn't forget what it looked like.
Thanks for the warning.
So let me get back up here. All right, there we go. So now, like I said, the important thing to kind of bring out of this, and let me get my browser back over here. Blah 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 blah. The important thing was the response that we got from Fiend. Fiend is the primary user interface guy. Okay, he's the guy that does all the magic on the screen.
There he is. Got it. Okay.
And he did responses to that 1 through 9. And
You got to cover this?
if you want to.
Yeah, great ideas, Tinma. Some of these we've actually already addressed internally. Hot damn. Oh my gosh. So number 1, yes. And number 1 being, here we go. Number 1, the chat box being collapsible. Oh yeah. Oh, so they've already got that done.
He said yes.
Yes. Number 2, yes, our original plan. Okay, number 2 is what, Kat? And Tinma's original post.
Whisper and tell messages would not get lost in the scroll of the chat tab,
Right.
and others do not think you are ignoring them.
And he says, yes, our original plan was to do exactly this, but the more I think about it, the less I like the idea of forcibly creating new tabs. This could get messy when players have multiple chat windows. How would you feel about sticking tells so that they stay visible while other texts continue to scroll? Interesting thought there. It could function similar to sticky topics in this form. Just a thought. Brilliant.
Well, basically, I'll give a visual to everybody. If this is your chat box, and you know how the text goes like this, up as people talk.
Like
If
a
it was
spider.
if it was addressed to you, it would do this, and when it would hit the top and stop,
It would stop.
everything else would still keep going like this.
Wow.
Which, if you're having an extended conversation with someone, you're going to be full of that and not see anything else.
And if you're like me, who gets a bunch of whispers and tells, and it's easy to miss stuff, I would never see people talk. It would always be whispers.
Well, what I would like, honestly, what I would like is when I've got that chat in, I'd like this anyway. I'd like a little icon on the side to pop up for every different person that has sent me a tell. That I have, I can close those if I want, but it's a little round, little circle, little dot that I can click on to open that conversation, and then click on again to close it, and
Well,
double click it to make it go away.
we sit there and kind of discussed it, and I actually got. I mean, I asked everybody that was in TeamSpeak at the time, like, what do you guys think of this? What would be better for you as players? And I'll read that off because I actually threw that back at him. The consensus here in TeamSpeak chat is that they would like, the option in settings to either sticky or have it as a tab or pop-up.
Mm-hmm.
In other words, it's how the player wants instead of how it's thrown at you, and said, live with it. Okay.
That's great.
So,
and then, Katina, what is number 3?
Removal of the boots icon. That's so freaking annoying.
F to interact.
yeah, man, I'm never going to get over the F to interact debacle. This is one of those things where we decided to handhold because new players were having such a hard time learning to play, and in the process, we ended up being too forceful. I think we still may want to support an on-screen option for prompts, but not exactly like this. And it should be optional. Really, going forward, the mantra is, in my eyes, this is your UI. That's great. I like that.
Like I said, this response from him was like
This is
phenomenal.
great. Good stuff. Number 4. What's number 4, Katina?
One more hot bar.
So his response is, my hope is that with a few changes, we won't need more than one hotbar to do all the things we often do. Part of this could include an explicit build mode. Okay.
See, now this one is where I have the world's biggest problem.
But
right before it, he says, this is your UI. If this is my UI, I want to have more than one hotbar.
give me the option.
Tell me how many you think I need.
Look, for those who've played EQ and EQ2 and you know I'm
World of Warcraft.
and World of Warcraft, you know who I'm talking to you. Your screen is covered with hotbars. They go all the way around your monitor. Or they rows or, yeah, come on.
And you would not be able to function without them. Because you know where everything's at. You do. Because you put it there.
Exactly. And if they're saying, this is my UI, my game, let me decide what I want.
So when I'm showing off the game, you guys know I hide my UI. So it could be really handy to have all these hotbars accessible. But when I'm showing off the game to the world, I hide my UI much of the time so that people can see how beautiful the game is and not have the UI in the way. So I think they're trying to keep the interface really simple and elegant so that the game shows well to everybody. But come on.
Too bad. So sad.
I want a crap ton of hotbars because I can just hide my UI when I want to look at it.
I do like the idea of builder mode. And I do not have nothing against builder mode because we've been talking about that for a while. You know, if you're on your claim and it's not set to PvP, you're automatically in builder mode. Legos. He's eating.
He's eating.
Noodles. I'm starving. Oh my god.
But I have absolutely nothing against builder mode. You know, you go in your claim and you're automatically in there. The UI probably like drops down or something, and you know it pulls up. And I'm really cool with that. But at the same time, if you're going to give us builder mode, give us video edit mode or video record mode, whatever you want to call it, a video record mode, so that
cinema mode.
Yeah, cinema mode, which it would be better off for actually recording.
The option to hide your character.
Now, doing the green screen thing, I have noticed something that it's really hard to get a pan from below your character, or to be able to bring your character, you know, straight in the center and have it close so you can see the whole character up close. Because when you zoom in, it always zooms in to the top of the head like this.
Oh, yeah.
Just like that. So a lot of times the legs will get cut off, and it's really easy to not get the scene that you want. So a video record mode would be awesome, you know, to allow us to be able to move a camera around or something.
Where you have a prop that is a camera, and you set it down where you want to film from, and then when you hit start, boom, what you see is from that camera.
And we also need a macro editor.
Yes, we do.
Something that I can set up a list of emotes and just hit run, boom, or you know, put them in there, save it, close the window, and do like, I don't know, like F7, Control F7 or something like that, and it would start that macro, and all of a sudden my character's doing exactly what it is I want it to do when I want it to do it.
All right, number 5, Katina. This is about the friends list.
Friends list.
All right, so his response to this is, just so I'm clear, you want to make sure the friends list is open by default? If so, yeah, I totally agree.
Yep.
Number 6.
Compass, movable.
Compass, and he says, guys, yes. He says, this should apply to all the UI elements. Yes. Thank you.
Yes. It should. Absolutely.
Number 7.
Transparency.
Windows being more transparent.
Oh, yeah, he says number 7. The plan is to make window transparency adjustable. Nice.
That would
Number
be
8.
in settings. Yes.
Yep, in settings. Number 8.
Show borders checkbox when you go on other players' claims.
Oh, and he says, yeah, why not?
Yeah.
Good. Number 9. Yep, my favorite. He says, yes, absolutely. All right.
Yeah, I mean, it was like totally positive in his response, and
Oh, yeah, this last bit is really cool, dude.
yeah, and I even told him in my response back to him to answer the questions that he had back for me. You know, I'm pretty sure this response would be part of the Let's Talk Landmark this Wednesday. I told him it was going to be a part of it this week. So.
So get this. He says here, thanks again, man. I'm a visual person, so I appreciate the additional effort you provided with the mock-up. Right on. This is what we were talking about. And then he says, edit. Just curious, what method did you use to green screen the UI? Did you piece it together from source images or doctor a screenshot?
Green screen.
I'm gonna be honest with you. That was the beginning of my the green screen video. That's where that came from. Because I wanted to phase out everything. I wanted everything behind the UI to be nothing but the same stuff. And so I just threw up that green stuff, and it worked out perfect. So,
well, he's grateful.
Okay.
Great stuff, guys. This is great stuff. So 8:24. I got maybe 15 minutes.
Perfect. Because we got one more thing to go over, and this kind of goes back to something else I did. Sadly.
All you guys, I'll leave.
Sadly. Was that late night, or was it early morning?
That was a late night. But this was actually started by Dyfa. And it was a combination of what Dyfa typed up on this post and what Geo was talking about, and then all of a sudden I had no plans to do this, and then all of a sudden Noozle comes in and says, hey guys, guess what I've got? I got images of every island. And I'm like,
that he just shot.
What? I was like, I could do something with that. And then, of course, I made Katina mad.
I'm building away happily. He pops in, he goes, I got a job for you. I'm like,
better you than me. That's all I can say.
Should I be scared? And he goes, oh yeah.
Oh yeah, you should be scared. And so the number crunching began. And it is amazing what came of that. I mean,
it was really eye-opening.
You know, for all the people that said that the population was declining, I want to throw up a big middle finger. Because the numbers that came out were more than astounding than what I thought.
Well, whether the population is declining or not is irrelevant. The fact of the matter is there are a absolute crap ton of claims out there. Mm-hmm. It's you know, whether it's from fewer players or not. It's wow. Oh my god.
Yeah, I mean,
and honestly, I would say a good third are single claims.
Mm-hmm.
After counting them all.
Just so everybody knows, Katina counted over 10,000 claims in how many? How many hours?
2.5, 3.
Yeah, I mean,
I can't even count to 10,000 in 3 hours.
And it's amazing the numbers that were coming out of there. I've got it here. Hold up. I could probably bring it up for you guys, so you can actually.
Can you play it for him?
I could play it for him.
Sure.
But I mean, we only got like 15 minutes left.
Oh, well, take some time. Take some time.
Only what?
I'm good. I got the wife
minutes?
and my nephew are watching the kids.
I got to dig it out. Hold up.
It's on the next.
Yo, Hitman.
It's on the next page. On the next page, dude.
Yeah, I didn't even think about that. I'll bring it up. Uno momento.
Zexadu says I'm responsible for 23 of those claims. Sorry.
Is it primary? These are what we counted was primary claims.
Primary claims.
Not
I
additions.
counted red squares.
Well, if you got enough accounts, not through 3 accounts, you could do 20.
Yeah, everything that was counted was primaries. I mean, we cared less about additions. So, all right. I think I'm good now. So let me go into full screen here. And there we go.
Oh, Tal Lurker's got the link right there in the chat. And Aliana. There we go. Sweet.
Cat looks good. What can I say?
Yeah, and the people that we used were the people we had on hand, which was Noozle and Katina. So all the little people kind of creeping up on the screen, it's those two. 61, 104, 140. There were a few islands that had like 50s, but it was not a lot. It was very few.
But it was amazing that the same islands on the same servers were the ones with the low population.
Mm-hmm.
So hopefully that will open their eyes, saying these islands kind of suck in some regards.
And most people never see all of this.
There's
you know,
one wearing scars.
most people never see all, you know, every single island to find out exactly who's got what, you know?
I never thought I'd be to every single island.
2,554. That was on Courage. See, we got that one, which was tundra biomes, that which usually have the lowest numbers, or a island that has primarily volcanic. I did make sure to point that out.
Emerald
look at
Vale.
that.
That's the highest populated on all 4 servers.
I'm glad that we've got the volcanic biomes, but really only people building sci-fi like to build there.
Yep.
In general.
Unless they're building white sci-fi and then it's pink.
Bob Dobbs giant ship. Freaking that thing's it's huge. It's hundreds of feet long and pink. Yeah, these are amazing. I mean, some of these are just chock full, and then you can see.
We haven't even got to the big numbers yet.
Yeah.
The big numbers
Serenity.
are on Serenity. I never knew there was that many people on Serenity.
When a lot of people think, oh, the Euro server, there's not many there. It's the second highest populated server.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. But there, look at that. Yeah, the Cauldron or that volcanic biome. And wow. Great effort, guys. I applaud this. This is incredible. Did a nice job.
Yeah, Noozle and Katina really went out of their way on this one.
It was worth it.
Make sure you're looking at these numbers for Serenity. 184. $161.
Yeah, Abel, that is a tremendous amount of work. So proud of you guys. But Noozle, man, he sent me a message before he headed out to start doing this. I'm like, man, rock on. Great job.
3,090 primary claims on Serenity and 10,498 grand total. And that is a rough estimate. It's plus and minus like 3.
Oh my God.
You know, Plus and
I give
minus
a plus
3.
or minus 15 on each island because your eyes do kind of start seeing things after a while.
Yeah, yeah. But yeah, I mean
It's
that's
just insane.
that's kind of what was pulled up out of, you know. Let me get this thing set back to us here. Boop-a-doop. But yeah, I mean that's kind of what was pulled up from the images. I mean, the individual counting. Katina wanted to kill me.
Okay.
By the time she got to like the
We're lucky she
third
didn't.
map,
God.
she was ready to
She's still-
drive to Raleigh and
10
stab
hours
me
you
in the
haven't
throat.
Tao says she's still seeing red like she's inside a volcanic cave.
But yeah, that's, you know, but there's the big issue with this, and the big debate about this is the is perception versus what the devs
Reality.
are saying. Okay,
Yeah.
and what Terry said, only 40% of the claimable space was taken. That
It's
ain't
only
the
for
case.
counting water.
That is not the case.
So they're measuring they're measuring it illogically.
Yeah,
They
it's.
have to be counting water. They have to.
So
I think it's they're counting the sides of mountains like this as claimable space, because if you take a mountain that's like this and you
mean-
flatten it, look at how big that sucker gets. Like this. This is a mountain.
I mean, those mountain
And you
sides,
do like
if
this.
you're gonna build dwarven, they're great. They're fine.
Yeah,
But if not, you know, most people aren't gonna do
it's not ideal claim space. I mean, I
Yeah.
can understand. Go back to the drawing board on the actual areas and put more flatlands and just have like mountains over around the edges or on the one sides or either catty corner to each other. Have mountains over there. That way, if you want to build in the mountains, you could do that. If you want it in the prairie, you could do that. If you want it on the side of a hill, you could do that. Or if you want to do it at the ocean or beside a river. It's just a little bit more tinkering. It's the way I look at it to get it right. Now, agreed, they're still working on big islands, which they're going to have to do anyway, because that's EverQuest Next.
Yep. Oh yeah, and they talked about that. So
So, you know, in that regards, you know, we're supposed to be getting big islands anyway. They told us they were, but
They promised they were, and they said, "Oh no, we didn't." Oh yeah, you did.
and I still say that they shouldn't have reduced the servers until they gave us the big islands. That would have been the more logical choice.
Even if they reduced it by half, I do admit two claims on an entire island is a waste of resources.
Yeah. But
But what they did was way too much.
But coming back from everything that's been said tonight and everything that has been presented to you guys, the fact is we've had responses on all three of these things from the developers. We're actually getting feedback. We're having interaction from the developers. Not exactly to the extent we want, because we're still not getting a Landmark Live that comes out and says, "Hey, this is it. This is how things are rolling."
Mm-hmm.
But we
give
are
them a week or two to
the
organize and do it.
the individual people or on those teams or whatever are very interactive in the community, and all I can say is to Augur Dev, Alan Lapidus, gosh, I can't even think of all the names now that actually has replied here.
You got Fiend, Augur Dev.
And Fiend, Domino,
To the claim, the islands thread.
I mean, well, nobody responded to the last one, which was the claims. or the video with the Dyphon. Nobody responded to that because I think they're gathering their thoughts for this one. This is going to be good. This is going to be really good.
They're presented with something they can't argue with.
Yeah, it's there. I mean, that imagery should tell it all. I mean, there are very few islands that are not like really super packed. The
And he
biggest,
tied it in a double bow.
and I
Did you
put
go
it
to
in a bow
page
for
2
you.
of that? Did you
Huh?
go to page 2 of that?
I
And
did
look
not
at
yet.
what Pirate Oil put?
I
He's got
did.
a graphic like 3 or 4
Well,
posts down.
the one
He
thing about
totally
that,
endorses what you said.
yes, but no, because you got to remember we now have overlapping claims.
Mm-hmm.
Red can overshadow red now. Now, in
Right.
his way of putting it up there, yes, and that is in perfect spacing all the way across. Yes, that would be true, but we also got to remember that we can put claims side by side now, and they can
Yeah.
overlap. But still, in that regards, it still wouldn't work either. So, oh well.
Okay.
Now, gosh, there was something else I was going to say there, and that would have pretty much ended it up. It's a habit for me. Trust me, it'll come to me eventually. But I still want everybody to take back that the devs are still fully involved with the game. Mm-hmm. They still want to make things good for us. And even though I complain, and I do this a lot, I'll rant and rave and all that kind of stuff, but it's never in a negative way because I want the game to succeed. It's the only reason I BITCH a lot. So,
Well, I got something for you. I want to play real quick.
Go for it.
And if you hold on just a second, I'm going to play it from my phone over the microphone because it's the only way I can get it onto Skype. So
feels like the world's gonna end.
Oh God.
Ben Pickerel, Zinrath
Now we're in the new
is
world.
doing some audio engineering for our movie, and so that you can hear this is the movie. That's the beginning of it. But let me play this bit for you because you are not going to believe it.
I just sneezed my brains out.
Listen, quiet. Did you hear that?
Rejoice! For once again we shall purge all that is not marked. Our time draws close.
That's the white man's voice. That is the voice.
See, you got to stop it right there. You got to stop it right there. You can't go too far. If you
That's all there is.
notice,
That's all I got.
we've been doing like little sound bites here recently, and that is still to let y'all know the movie is still in production, and it's really looking good.
It is. It's looking really, really good. And that's the first time I've heard that.
That's
It's the first
good
time anybody
stuff.
but me has heard that. So
It's really good stuff there.
that guy's he's got mad skill.
I expect another clip tonight to watch, Gio.
All right, so that was a highlight of the day's show, guys. That's freaking awesome. So, all right, let's go ahead and do our closing little thing here, and let's.
Oh, God.
I'm gonna start with Katina this time. What do you got
Oh,
going?
great. I have no idea what I'm doing this week. I think I'm going to trash the trash I have made for Takish and ruin it and say that's what they're getting. I'm done with it. Honestly. That's it.
Wow. Okay.
I was going to do stores, but I'm not so happy right now, so I may get back into that.
Okay. Now, so you're still doing your build, right?
What, the Takish stuff?
Yeah.
Well, if you're going to come over and help make it look better than it does, yeah.
Corinne says, and finish packing so you can move.
Yeah, I moved July 1st, so I really do need to like pack some more stuff. If you look around my room, there's nothing.
All right. Gio, what you got going this week?
Oh man, this week. Well, I want to go build I'm working on the movie nonstop. So all my waking time is spent there, unless I'm actually doing my show. Because as soon as my show is done, I'm gone from TeamSpeak. I'll watch your show a little bit while I'm just taking care of stuff here before I head out to get the kids. But so doing the morning brew tomorrow and Friday. I have, out of those 10,498 or 96 claims, base claims, 2 are mine, and I haven't even rubbed 2 voxels together. I put down some crafting stations.
If he did, the whole island would just explode.
So,
I even gave him water off my land there, and I still don't have a ship out there.
Okay, yeah, don't rush it. Make sure.
So,
I mean, this was a big
project. I met with some business friends of mine today, and showed them the movie, showed them what we have so far, and the feedback was surprising. The feedback was that this is potentially a real thing. They've never seen. The first question was, in post-production, all you did was just cut footage. There's no special effects. I said, no, it's all real time. And they just said, finish your movie. Just get it done.
Cool.
Pretty cool.
Anyway, so that's what's going on for me.
Awesome. Well, that pretty much wraps up episode 31 of Let's Talk Landmark. Definitely.
What are you doing this week?
What am I doing this week?
Yeah, your turn.
Oh, right. Oh, yeah, I forgot. Well, doing the streaming for the rest of the week right after Geo's show in the mornings on the Morning Brew, which starts at 10 a.m. Eastern, and I pick it up at 12 p.m. Eastern.
And for those early birds, that are in Europe and everywhere else in the world, Aliana is streaming for the 2 hours before the Morning Brew, so make sure you follow him here and catch his show. So we got a 6-hour window of nothing but Landmark and good entertainment.
Mm-hmm. And we're still looking for somebody to pick up right after me, so that'd be great. And basically cut it down into 2-hour sections. Kind of that way we can get other stuff done. Like me, I here in my free time here recently, I've been working on tutorial stuff, and I about stabbed myself in the face. Yes, this morning. I made 2 tutorials this morning and forgot to turn on my microphone. An hour and 15 minutes. Just like that. So it's all good.
I killed you guys for 2 hours in PvP to record all the combat music and forgot to turn on my sound
He did.
recorder.
So
That's okay. Still got to kill time out of that one. That wasn't worth it.
But that's kind of how things roll, so it's all good. But thanks everybody for coming and hanging out with us. It's been a freaking blast as always. We are on episode 31. We have passed that triple hump. We're now on working towards the quadruple hump, and it's amazing how quickly this has really gone in episodes.
It is.
Can you imagine if we also did a Saturday show?
Yeah. Well, maybe we need to after the movie's done. And my wife is more than 2 shows a week. I'm gonna have I'll have issues here. But
She would kill you, dude. She would totally kill
She
you.
would flay you alive.
well, she saw the movie. I showed her the movie for the first time. Part 1 is mostly done, and she saw it for the first time 3 days ago. And wow, not one complaint about anything since.
Cool.
Awesome.
She took a day off from work to help get things ready for my son's birthday party instead of asking me to do it. So
Wow.
That's amazing, dude. All right, so with that, guys, thanks again for coming and hanging out with us. This is episode 31, Let's Talk Landmark, and we will see you guys on Monday at 1:30 p.m. Eastern Time for the next episode, episode 32. And have a good one, guys.
Bye, folks.
Go out there and build something.
Yeah.
Take a look.
Yeah.